Good evening. I'm Sandra Walker, reporting for Buzzed News TV. In Kenya, President William Ruto has expressed his willingness to engage in dialogue with thousands of young protesters who recently held nationwide demonstrations against proposed tax increases. The protests, organized primarily by Gen Z Kenyans through social media and live-streamed events, have taken the government by surprise, highlighting growing dissatisfaction with Ruto's economic policies. In his first public remarks on the matter, President Ruto commended the youth for their peaceful approach and emphasized his readiness for discussions to collaboratively build a stronger nation. Addressing a congregation in Nyahururu, Ruto acknowledged the peaceful nature of the protests despite reports from human rights groups of 2 deaths during the demonstrations in Nairobi. He assured the protesters that their concern, education. The protests, which have been mostly peaceful, saw police using tear gas and water cannons to disperse crowds near Parliament. According to the Kenya Human Rights Commission, a 21-year-old protester, Evans Kiratu, died after being hit by a tear gas canister, while a police watchdog is investigating the alleged shooting of a 29-year-old man by officers. Amnesty International Kenya and other organizations reported that over 200 people were injured as thousands took to the streets across the country. In response to earlier, smaller-scale protests, the government agreed to roll back certain tax hikes, but it still plans to increase taxes on fuel and exports to address a significant budget shortfall. Ruto's administration argues that these tax increases are essential to reduce reliance on external borrowing as Kenya grapples with a high national debt and rising costs due to a struggling with high living costs and limited job opportunities. The protesters have called for a national strike on June 25th, and the situation remains tense. We will continue to monitor the developments and bring you the latest updates. Stay with us for more news after the break.